Barkley Goodrow, man, got to be good to be able to send him back in the lineup there. And if you could just talk about his impact on the game.
Well, he's a glue guy, and he helps. He drags the team into the fight. He can't have enough of those guys, and he was itching to get back. I know when he got injured, those last couple regular season games, and you just never know when you're going to get him back. But he has an impact on the team, not necessarily in a point producing way, but ways that help you win. And so I think it was a big lift for our guys to get him back.
Joe Smith.
Obviously, this game, especially the third period, looked like a championship team that was determined to close it out. Like, what struck you the most about the way you guys went about it today, and played this game?
Well, you've probably heard the fourth one's the toughest one to win in a series. And when you have a chance to do it, you don't want to waste them. And Florida gave us they didn't want to lose on home ice, and we were coming back here, and we thought, all right, well, we let a chance, regardless if you're not playing at home, to slip away. And we didn't want to come back here and say, oh, just because we're on home ice, we're going to win. That's a flawed way of thinking. But we had a plan set, but the players, it was 60 minutes of just sheer will and compete. And to win in this league, that's what you need. When you make the playoffs, you need it from everybody, and the players gave it, and they get all the credit in the world. They stayed in the fight, and they worked their tails off. They were rewarded for it, and to close teams out, especially one as talented and well coached and as Florida was. I didn't want to. You don't want to risk going to Game 7 because it's a hell of a team over there, and but the boys played like champions today.
John Romano.
Hey, John, the second period, it's still a 1-0 game. They get a power play early on. Could you talk about the job that Vasilevskiy did during the first 7 minutes of that period?
Well, I mean, their power play, it's like 2 minutes of like cardiac arrest. I mean, they're just a skilled group that just has you on your heels, and it's I thought our guys, like Goody's a big part of our penalty kill. So he won some faceoffs for us. We got some pucks down, but you're still the end zone. Guys were blocking shots, but in the end, you need your goalie to make some saves, and sure enough, he was there for us. And he was seeing pucks tonight. He was tracking, and when you've just got faith in your guy back there, the guys were doing their jobs ahead of him, and it was just a cohesive 5-man unit, 4 in the goalie, and we got through those power plays because they are, like I said, a talented group.
Eric Erlinson.
John, you talked about sort of the championship mentality that kind of shows up. Like, how much of that is just pure compete level, right? Like going out and laying out to block a shot, the puck battles along the walls, the fighting for loose puck. That stuff that's never going to show up on a score sheet, but that is very noticeable in games like this.
Well, in the 100+ years this league's been around and the Stanley Cup has been handed out, I doubt you'll ever find a team that didn't do that. That's what it takes to win. And that's why it's such a special trophy to win, because of the effort and the just energy. It's draining what you go through, the war of attrition. And in the end, it is the compete level that gets you there. And you can't let it go, because if you get outwilled in a game, you're probably not going to win. And our boys would not let that happen tonight.
Ed Encina.
John, you talk about the hustle and also the importance of getting a lead. The play that Tyler Johnson makes just kind of set up that first goal. Beating the ice and setting up Pat there. How important was a play like that? Just kind of setting the tone.
Well, you need everybody contributing, and maybe those guys didn't play as much as some of the other lines tonight, just in a matching scenario, the way things were going. But Johnny had two big time impacts on the game. One on beating the icing out for the goal, and two beating the icing out 6-on-5. And those are monumental. And the guys are going nuts on the bench for him. And Johnny had a whale of a game tonight, and he deserved. That to set up that first one, because it was magnificent work. And it's hard when you're not playing as much to come out and do that, and he performed well for us.
Joe Smith.
Vasilevskiy was just talking about how much he learned watching Bishop in 15 when he closed games out with shutouts in that playoff run. I know they're different goalies, different personalities, but are there any similarities in terms of their approach in big games or presence or impact on the way the team feels about itself?
No, they're two goalies that know how to win them, and I've been a part of Bish winning some big ones, and clearly been a part of Vasi winning some big ones. And it's a mental mindset, and it takes some experience for that to happen. But you still have to have the wherewithal to deliver, and both those guys have done it.
We'll do one more. Mary Fiallo, go ahead.
John, you said that Barclay brings this team into the fight, but is he also one of those just energy guys where he lands that big hit on Tippett and Tippett practically goes into the Panthers bench? I mean, is he built for moments like that?
Well, it's attributes like that it's why you describe players like that. And but before he got to us, if you remember, he scored the OT winning goal in that crazy series between San Jose and Vegas a couple of years ago. So Cream rises to the top in the big moments, and he's definitely done that.
Thank you, Coach, for your time.